Welcome, my fellow fans of Clash Royale. Yes, we're back with more new card concepts, this time thanks to a graphic design expert named Radical Rosh. You guys will see his stuff in just a few minutes. Make sure you check him out as well. He's got some incredible skills, and he's showing them off in card concepts and weird designs. So I'm going to get into some of the other new card concepts that you guys have submitted. I'm thinking most of these were probably submitted kind of with a humorous angle, but we'll take a look at a few that would probably just about break the game if they were ever added, and they're going to get more and more extreme. We're going to watch some draft challenges in the background here, some super close comebacks, and these are actually 12th wins. The first two, anyway, are members of Full Attack unlocking their very own legendary bandit for free in the Bandit Draft Challenge. But let's get to those concepts and see which one of you guys is going to win today. First up, we've got the Minion Swarm. You've heard of minions, you've heard of the Minion Horde. How about a Minion Swarm? Look at the size of these guys. There's so many of them. This guy wants 12 of them in the Minion Swarm. I'm thinking, talk about high risk, high reward. 8 Elixir, that is a crazy idea right there. But thank you, Charlie Tucker on Twitter, for the submission, and we will move on to the next one. This one is something that, well, people can do on their own with a good tornado drop, and that is to wake the King's Tower. Here is a spell card that would do it instead. You play this, and it wakes up your King's Tower for the rest of the battle. Definitely puts your opponent at a disadvantage, but is it too OP even at 10 Elixir? It's not so much necessarily that it would be OP. I've seen lots of players beat others even though their King's Tower is unintentionally awake. It's more that I feel like it goes against the grain of what the Clash Royale team is trying to do with this game, and that is fast-paced offensive battles. We really don't need more siege and defensive cards, in my opinion, even though you guys keep submitting quite a few, and maybe we will talk about that in a future episode. Moving on, level 1 legendary, the Reader. Just one piece of advice, stay in school, okay? I understand that books may seem boring, but they're good for you, okay? They will help you communicate better later in life, and I realize maybe you don't like books right now, but trust me, it's gonna pay off in the long run, okay? So, stay in school. Next idea. This one, lots of people asking for either a gold or a gem chest that you could get. Now, this didn't make a lot of sense to me. This is supposed to be a card concept, but you've made a chest in a card. So that right there, that breaks the game, okay? Disregard what's in the chest or how you get it. Just the fact that there's a chest in a card, yeah, that's game breaking, definitely. But speaking of game breaking, yes, it's a little bit of Flashception. A card in 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 a card. It's Clashception. All right, moving on. I am going to go out on a limb and say our next submitting person on Twitter is not a fan of the Royal Giant. He's created the TFAS, the Fat Annoying Something. All right, let's read this description. The far annoying something can snipe the tower, and when a bowler is destroyed, the far annoying something, aka the fat annoying something, the game starts lagging and screaming 360 no scope. PS unlocked at Arena 0, and check out those stats. I don't know why I threw this one up here, but I couldn't resist. It hit home for me with my hate of the Royal Giant. But one more quick thing. Did you notice the snot on the mustache and the beard? I love that touch, and that's really why I put it in here. Okay, next up, this is a different look at lag. Lots of people talk about lag, suffering lag, opening a lag-filled chest. But how about a lag card that you could play on your opponent that would cause him to lag? I don't know, it seems to me like that would quickly take over as the most frustrating card in the game. Definitely game-breaking, pretty much literally, and just, we're not going to see that. No, and that symbol just gives me chills. I hate to see that. Next card. All right, here we go. The ultimate. Yes, it is the level 7 Chief Rocket. Gotta love this card. Basically what this does is it causes rockets to miss balloons. In other words, you're imitating Chief Pat. This tweet from a relatively small person on Twitter as far as followers ended up getting a massive number of retweets and likes. I love that. was really funny to see, and I definitely retweeted myself, and I think Pat probably did as well, begrudgingly. Okay, now we're really getting somewhere, you guys. Next up is the Pekka Barrel, and I've seen this one in a couple of different places, and I feel like this could be the inspiration for the card that really is the anchor for this entire video. That is a Pekka Barrel. Throw the barrel across the field, and yes, outbursts a Pekka. That would absolutely, without argument, be a game-breaking type of card. Now, before we get on to the final card and some really cool in-game appearing images of this card concept, I just wanted to touch on the idea of, please, no more elite anythings, okay? We don't need more elite archers or elite giants or elite musketeers, anything like that. I also am not a big fan of 3 musketeers or 2 or 3 princesses or hog riders, anything like that, or especially like the Minion army. Let's go with the new stuff. I love the Bandit. I love these unique cards, and I've been saying this for a long time, to the point that, yes, I realize I'm repeating myself, but I love to see cards that are unique to the game, that have unique abilities that we've never seen before. I feel like it adds so much to the game and makes it so much more entertaining. So if you guys want to submit your ideas, hashtag made my own legendary. It doesn't have to be a legendary card, but please make the art so that's not copyrighted, and also make it unique. I want the most unique submissions to put into a future video and hopefully give out some free gems for your guys' concepts. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this battle, and there is Karan, yes, unlocking his very own Bandit. But here we go, you guys. The moment you've been waiting for, none other than my own card concept. Yes, it's the Electrified Elite Barbarian Giant Ice Bow Barrel Hut. GG. So, it's a building, and I came up with this idea, and I talked to Radical Rosh, and amazing work. He does some incredible stuff. If you haven't seen him on YouTube already, make sure you check it out. He actually does animations for some of these, and there it is. It looks like a double X-bow mortar, who knows what. There's some elite giant barbarians, royal giant barbarian barrels flying across the screen. Yeah. So anyway, how about this one? With a little Tesla action, you've got to make them electrified. I mean, they've got to do some stun when they drop, and they drop super fast, and they're all over. Of course, it breaks the game and causes player rage everywhere, and people sue Supercell for new iPads because they break them. But no, I liked this concept, but I'm hoping to hear more concepts from you guys. I want to keep this series going. You guys seem to be enjoying it, and we will be submitting some of the better ideas to Supercell's Clash Royale team in the future. So let me know, you guys, the very best ones, along with maybe an idea or 2 of mine, will get sent along. In the meantime, let's watch a recent draft challenge. This one was pretty crazy right here, that I was playing, going for unlocking that Bandit. Now, I will admit to you, this was not win number 12, okay? Now, I've got Sparky, which pretty much, it seems to be the card that nobody wants in these draft challenges, you guys. Nobody wants Sparky. I feel bad for Sparky, but I can also understand, unless you're Metab in the clan full attack, most people not big fans of Sparky action. Now, luckily for me, I have practiced a little bit. Okay, not luckily. It didn't help. I'm just going to admit it. I have practiced some with Sparky. For the most part, there's not a lot you can do with Sparky unless you have a deck that has some synergistic cards, meaning you need other cards that are going to work alongside the Sparky, and that is exactly what I did not have in this deck. Wasn't really ready to use Sparky here either, and unfortunately, Sparky, I've already rotated all the way back around to another one, so let's just go again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Lightning, Inferno Tower, I don't know this deck. Again, it's crazy the deck combinations that we end up with, but I feel like it's a lot of fun. I know that I complained about the draft challenge the first time we saw it come to the game, simply because I'm not that good. But I've gotten a little bit better over time, and if a miracle happens in the next couple of days, I will have unlocked a Bandit, and you better believe I will let you guys know about it if it happens. Okay, so dropping the bomber from the back. I haven't yet used the lightning, trying to wait for that spot where I can get good value and grab at least 2 other cards. Well, okay, at most 2 other cards, and the tower, if at all possible. So a couple small units thrown in, Sparky in behind. The miner is going to get in the way, but Sparky should be able to handle that one unless She zapped, and there's the Bandit. I know I've said that the Bandit is tough for people to learn how to use, but okay, apparently people are learning how to use it. I'm just going to say. So the Bandit, super good card. Better and better all the time. The more I see it in action, the more I realize that she definitely has her place in Clash Royale. All right, we're into double Elixir, and this is where a deck with a Sparky and a Lightning spell is going to shine, I'm hoping. So we drop Sparky in the back one more time. Final 45 seconds. Again, this opponent has the Rocket. Right, so that's unfortunate. But I've got Lightning, and I haven't used it yet. But that was a beautiful Rocket, and I guess that was an unfortunate thing for me. Big group coming in on the left-hand side here, even after the zap, trying to get just stacking more little units up rather than going for Sparky. I finally learned my lesson. Big Rocket comes in. Another great value Rocket. But I have been grinding away. If you see the chip damage is there, I'm just a little bit ahead. So what are the teary eyes for? I don't know. I never know what these taunts mean. Final 10 seconds. It looks like we're going into overtime. I'm dropping another Sparky and hoping right here I can get some great lightning value. Maybe on the tower on that cannon and another unit. So we'll see what happens as the Tesla moving in, protected by the wizard. In come a couple of archers, and there goes another Rocket, takes out, and that's good value. He got my Tesla and a wizard, so I pretty much can't seem to put anything together right here. At least not big pushes, but this deck is turning out to be pretty good in the chip damage. I know that he couldn't possibly have another Rocket ready yet. Could he? Could he? Come on, Sparky, get out of the way. Get away from the tower. Oh, man. Here comes Sparky and a bomber trying to get in there. Gonna support Sparky again with a wizard, and finally, this could be my lightning opportunity, or this guy and his rockets. How does he? I mean, he's got a relatively cheap average elixir cost deck. So again, Sparky from the back. This time, I know Sparky is safely passing the tower before he will have rotated back around to a Rocket. Just about 2 minutes left in overtime now, trying desperately to just get one Sparky to the tower. Here we go. Sparky's got some protectors in the front, also some support in behind. His Rocket not quite ready. Lightning spell down. In comes another cannon. Come on, Sparky. Get to the tower this time. In comes the Rocket yet again, but check it out, you guys. The damage is done. 275 left on that tower. Finally got it in there. That is just a lightning spell away from victory. And somehow, some way, after about half a dozen Sparkies, I grabbed the win. All right, you guys, one more time, hashtag made my own legendary. Let me know. Submit your ideas. The winners get gift cards for free gems, both iOS and Google Play. You guys are amazing. Hashtag Galafam. Check me out live streaming on beam.pro. And I have nothing else to say until tomorrow except for full attack.
Galadon, total damage returns.